Well, hello, friends, and welcome to another Micmacs Adventure. I am Micmacs, and I will be your adventure today. And today we are going to play the Stanley Parable, the Ultra Deluxe. I don't know what that Ultra Deluxe means. This is the first time I've heard of this game, and it intrigued me as soon as I read the notes about it. And here's the overview of it. The Stanley Parable is a first-person exploration game that explores the nature of video game storytelling and player choice, which is the part I like. I get to make choices. Players take on a role as Stanley at an office who discovers his colleagues have vanished, guided by a narrator. I love this idea. I love the fact that I have no idea what I'm getting into except for that. That's all I know. And I caught a little bit of a video when I looked at the game before I actually put it on my PlayStation, downloaded it. But it looks very interesting, and I'm kind of curious on how and where this is going to go. I hope you are too. So, nonetheless, let's get her going. Never end is never, the end is never. Ooh,
this is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. I don't know what to
Stanley worked for a
expect.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Ooh.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He
Love
sat
simple
at his
jobs.
desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Oh,
Orders
yeah.
came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although
No weekends
others
off?
might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Wow. Good for you, Stanley. I don't know
And
if I
then
could do
one day,
it.
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Huh.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Okay.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ooh. I'm assuming that's what I gotta do. Alright, so... wait a minute. My clock says it's what? 11:21? Okay. Do have some paperwork there, but I gotta get used to the controls now. What's that? I hate Mondays. Most people do. Unless Monday is your weekend, then you don't hate it. Let's go out in the hallway. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, Shirley's not there. I have no idea if that's their names or not. Can I go in the door? No. Filing cabinets? Oh, God. The controls are... I gotta learn to
All of his
control...
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. I guess I'm deciding to go to the meeting room. Why are there coffee cups in there? Meeting room. Is this the meeting room? No, that's a hallway. So if I'm 427, these are people who work here, rooms and cubicles and stuff. Wait a minute. Why are all the papers on the floor? Where's this meeting room? At a meeting room? No, that's the copier. I don't think that's the meeting room. This is weird. And I hear the click, click. Oh, there's a ladder. Coffee hot. All right, all right, all right. Boxes everywhere. Where's this meeting room? This has got to be the meeting room up ahead, right?
When Stanley came to
Oh.
a set of 2 open doors, he
Uh-oh.
entered the door on his left.
What if I go to the right? It says to go to the left. I should go to the right then, right? Do I follow orders? I don't know what's going on. This is weird. Okay. And I can't see through here. That seems to have went opaque. That's weird. All right, well, the narrator said I should go through the left door. So I probably should go through the left door. Oh. Okay. Ooh, some nice paintings on the wall there. 413. Computer's on. Yellow box. I wonder if the colors mean anything, because everything else was kind of drab. Okay, so it's like a leaf, like a lily pad kind of thing. A mountain. And is that hard to tell, but it might be water. Okay, time is still the same. All right. Good to know. What's in here? This is the meeting room. Tips for not getting fired. I'm scared to go in. I may not be able to get out, but let's do it.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Well,
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
What?
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Okay, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Wait a minute. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in the graphs per slide. Okay, oh, please, more charts, please. I'm begging, stop. The Boss Appreciation Minute on your Boss Appreciation worksheet. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out the triplicate and return to your boss. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with others, diligent employee like yourself, but most inclined toward the conflict unless you're the kind of person. Boy, wait a minute. That was too quick. I couldn't read it all. I was trying to read fast. Hopefully we get to read that again. Yeah, because now it's right back to that one. That's where we first walked in. All right, cool. We can check that out later. Global market monetize free to play. Okay, well, let's see here. Broom closet. That's the first time we actually had words on the door, not numbers or blankness. And now I can't get back in there. I'm glad I checked that out a little bit. But I don't think that was the way I was supposed to go, maybe? I don't know. All right, now we got
to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, what if I go downstairs then? I'm going down. That's a little ominous. Red light. I am not going through the door because, as you know, the doors slam behind you when you go. I'm supposed to go up to the boss's office. If I'm going to be a diligent employee, I go up to the boss's office, right? So we're going up. That's not a boss's office. That's the boss's office. And oh, sure, he's got a nice, intricate place here, doesn't he? Scared to get up from behind this door. All right. Well. And he just, all right, okay. Executive bathroom. And of course. Ooh, what did that say? The beige, the beige pages. For those who don't know, that's a phone book. And I like how they got not the yellow pages. That's funny. All right, let's see what else we got going here. Can't get back behind this desk at all. Okay, what is that? Business time. Our hostile takeover, a new biannual percent. Okay. Who's taking us over? Ooh, boy. Can I get in over here? I see the knobs are kind of whitish. No. And still can't see out the windows. Okay, let's go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845? But the narrator just told me, so now I know it. 2845.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, 2?
2845.
Okay, I got it. 4, 5. Oop. It's very touchy. All right, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input
What's going on?
the code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What? What's this? Why is the door so massive? All right, let's go. Okay. Generator. Seems like a back room to somewhere. So dark. There's that red light again. Alright, well. Can't tell if there's an actual floor. Kinda looks like there might be one, so let's find out. Oh, good thing there was. I didn't fall to my death. Where are we going? Oh, what?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I kind of want to go back up. I wanted to see what that room was. What was that? What's that say? Why is that painted there?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? All right, let's go. Oh, man. Oh, man. It says escape. Do I want to know? Do I want to just get the hell out of here? That's the question. Oh, my curiosity is just getting the best of me. God darn it. Mind control what? Let's go find out. It's a big old button. What's that say? I can't read it. Can I get out of here? No, of course not. Oh, but there's a camera. I don't remember seeing that camera when I was coming in. Alright, fine, I'll push the button. Talk about mind control. I have no choice unless I can fall to my death. No, can I jump? There's no jumping, I guess. Alright, well, I did be able to get up here, so if I go here...
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content.
Oh.
You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more.
More.
And I'm here to give it to you.
All
I'm
right.
here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with
Good.
secrets and Easter eggs.
Easter eggs.
We
Okay.
wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's
Okay,
how
but I don't want to
special
hear
you
it. Don't
are.
hear it.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything.
Anything.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did
You
it.
did it. Good job, you did it.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Oh my goodness. Now what? Okay, now it's loading. Alright, right back to where we were, I guess. I guess I should have did that. Alright, well, where's the narrator? Mr. Narrator, where are you?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, it's a possibility. You know, the memos, they get lost in translation. Or translation? What's that monster? This does not make sense. Chips, blue loops. Weird. Okay, moving on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I did that last time. Do I go to the right? Or do I stay to the left? Okay, we'll go to the left one more time. But we might do something different here. Okay, the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer there.
Who's Franz? Okay, we broke Wednesday. Termination Tuesday. Pranking floor 5 meeting. IT department. Weekly targeting airmen. Okay. Weird. Office party? Hoo, hoo, hoo. Maybe they're just having a party. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right, next day agenda. Reflect. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Okay, I can see that. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Why is Chris in the broom closet? Push for funding for, I'm assuming, research and development of new coffee machine. Standard graphs, not cost efficient. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets off the topic of... I wish we could read that, but it won't let us. TPS reports. Help. I'm posted. All right, well, go through the room. Door closes, right? Still can't get Chris out of the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I really didn't know. All right, we'll go through here. Boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, right. Funny thing is, I did.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
I did,
Trying
too.
to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay. Hello. All right. Yo, what's up, man?
2845.
I know, I heard you the first time.
How you doing?
Good. 2 8.
What's this game?
4. It's tough to do here. Hold on a second. 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So this is called the Stanley Parable. It's a exploration game, and you're this guy whose name is Stanley, and you go to work and you sit there for a while and nobody tells you what to hit for how long on the computer, and there's nobody left in the office and you got to figure out what the hell's going on. And this is, I guess, my second attempt at this. The first one I jumped off the mind control desk and fell to the bottom of it and had to listen to a song. You have to go back and watch it. It's kind of weird. All right, here we go. Moving on. Okay, so it's a little brighter in here this time. All right, so here we go. So now, I gotta watch, because last time I saw a room. I wonder if I could stop at it. Nope. Oh. Okay, it's loading. Wait a minute. I didn't do that last time. Well, I said I was going to do something different, so I changed my
Oops.
mind.
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
did Stanley do that when he
So
knew
you puzzle games like you have to find keys for door or complete missions to get
I
it?
just can't wait to find out.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never played it before. This is actually my first time actually playing it. So I have no idea. I watched a little bit of video when I first downloaded the game, but that was it. All right, so I'm back up here. The narrator didn't seem too happy about it, but why did Stanley do that? Because Stanley doesn't do what he's always told.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow.
What?
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Okay. So it really didn't do anything much. It's pretty much the same way. I had to find out. I had an option. Let's go back down. All right, narrator, you win.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
If it gives me the option to hit that arrow up, I think I'm going to do it just to see what Mr. Narrator says.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No.
No.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
You should play Visage next. It's a horror game having 4 chapters. All 4 chapters happens in a house. I loved it. Don't know about you, but you have.
Visage? That sounds like fun. I'll have to check it out. Alright, so it's the same. I had to find out. I wanted to do it one more time.
It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
I love it.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm
All right.
prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay. Let's go. That was
Of
weird.
course, going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Uh-oh. I better keep moving on then. Spooky corridor. Here we go. You ready, narrator? Weird. Still, that thing's still there. Can I jump over that? No.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
All right, well, we went through last time and we ended up falling off, which is kind of cool. So let's do the mind control facility thing.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Employee observation protocol. Just can't quite read what it says there. If an employee begins exhibiting unscheduled emotions, immediately contact supervisor. Please note that employee 437 is a test case. Procedure 1A need not apply. An employee attempts to leave.
Perfect on you.
It looks perfect on me? Oh, I got a better view of it. Okay, the monitoring screen fails to contact maintenance and temporarily switch control over to desk screen. Alright, well, let's go hit this button and see what happens.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fired. Somebody got fired. Ah. Anybody else? Alright, who got fired? Oh, there was one there too. Who got fired? There's no number on it. Okay, how do the numbers work? So 104 and 601. Interesting. Well, let's see where this takes us. What's this?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, and why isn't it working now? Is that a question, Mr. Narrator? We were 427, right? Right there. My office is dark. I've not seen anybody else, so let's see where this takes us.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It
Never.
was unthinkable.
It was.
Was it even possible?
It is.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
A lot of people do. Oh, okay. Well, let's go see what's going
Here was
on.
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
How?
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How do I do that? Mr. Narrator. By the way, I think Mr. Narrator is trying to control my mind. Numbers 1 and 2. Okay. But how do I dismantle said machine? Could go up. What is this? Okay, it did nothing. Alright, let's go to facility power, I guess, right? Alright. There's a 5. I hit 1 and 2. I guess we should look for 3. Right? There's 3. Now we gotta find 4. You know that was 5, so 4 over there. 1, 2. Three. Where's 4? Alright, mind control idle, awaiting input. My problem is if I go through that door, a lot of times these doors... Oh, it's up there. Okay, okay. Let's do this again. So we got 1.
I don't think the numbers matters.
You don't? Why not? Oh, you think they're just there to screw with me? I mean, it's possible, I guess. But I can push them. I can interact with them. I want to see. I gotta see. My curiosity's getting the best of me. All right. Yep, I can't get up there. Oh, wait a minute. No. That's where I want to go. Wait a minute. No. Oh, no. All right. Yep, you're right. It doesn't matter. Not yet, anyway, but they do look like they're gonna.
The gene will tell you what to do.
Yeah, Mr. Narrator.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, but I don't know what it stands for. That's the problem. All right. Well, narrator wants me to turn it. I'm assuming off, right? See what happens. All right.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Was it over?
Was it? Seems kind of weird if it was. Very short game.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Did I
Freedom
really?
was mere moments away.
I don't think
And
I
yet,
did.
even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Right?
Where had his co-workers gone?
Where had they
How
gone?
had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Right?
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
There had to
As
be more.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
No.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Happiness.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Will
That
it?
was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
All right. Here we go, Mr. Narrator.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Earned a trophy. What? Um.
Face blue, white eyes.
I am back where I started.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? That's a nice cup. How come his phone's different? He's got like the old classic style. Number one dad. What's that saying there? I can't read it. I like her just hate the boss. All right, well, here we go again. Wait a minute now. I don't remember that picture being there. I don't remember these computers being on either. Another who farted mug. Surname access. Okay. What's that bug say? Fuel? Is that what it is? Be my Valentine. Waiting input. See, that picture was elsewhere. It's changed a little.
One thing which I like is that you look deep into detail because of No Man's Sky.
True.
On his left.
I went on to the left last time. I'm going to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it? That's funny. All right.
When I start the game, I just know what to do and skip 60% of detail.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
There's all the mugs again.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
How does he know? Coffee nut.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Come
It's
on.
possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
Stanley
All right.
sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
One more shot. Let's see what he does. Come on. Yep, trying to send me a message.
Is
Let's
there
go.
any relation between Stanley and narrator?
And took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Not that I know of. It just seems like he's just there. I mean, he's got to be somewhat related to him because he's the only person there, and the narrator is narrating this person, and you can actually hear him. He's got to be related somehow, right? Ooh, what's in there? Hey, it's one of those old phones. Well, time still says the same. You think it would have gone by a little further. Ooh, okay, we got an open door here. This is different. Tough decision here. This one gives me a different view. Huh. As you see, I'm not trying to get into the room, just kind of seeing what's around. This looks more interesting to me, but that's at the end. Tough call. All right, can I...
Why are you sneaking like that?
Well, I've noticed every time you go through the door is closed and you can't get back through it. So I'm trying to make an educated guess on which way I should go. Guess it really don't matter, because I can always come back and go through the other door when they restart me for whatever reason. That one, this one, that one, this one, that one, this one.
And so he detoured through
See?
the maintenance
Door closes.
section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
See what I mean? That's why I was trying to decide which way to go. Okay, what's that? Do I go that way or do I go this way? This one's getting me back towards the boss's office. Yeah, those pictures. But since I'm here...
Now I see.
We're going to go this way. Uh-oh.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay, weird. He can control the door too, can he? What's to the right then? So I can't go to the right.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right, my mistake. No,
What?
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Sure.
Now,
Well.
let's see, we went down right, left,
Yeah,
down,
right.
That's funny.
right. Yep, okay, yes.
Okay, yes.
I've got it now.
All
This
right,
story
where?
is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, I didn't see that. There's a truck with its lights on there. You sure now, Mr. Narrator? All right, well, kind of have no choice. There's no other way to go. So let's do it. Go down or an old bread truck. I can't. Can I hit it? No, it does nothing. All right, looks like it's that way. What happens if I go back this way? Nothing. All right. Here we go.
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How
What?
about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
What?
This time,
No.
suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Oh no. All right. Let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So whatever happened seemed to happen pretty quick, right? Because, you know, that cup is spilt there and it's still wet. So it couldn't have happened too long ago, right? Or is that just a stain? Maybe it's just a stain. I don't know. We'll have to find. Oh,
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... What did...
Looks like you need to focus on the narrator, what he is saying.
Anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
okay. That's all one room. Left or right. That's right. Remember, you go either left or right, and I went right last time, and I went to the thing. So these two are new. And I can't get through here. So yeah, we'll go through here. Let's see. There's that. Yeah, okay. That way or that way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise
Come
you
on.
there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No,
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again. But
I
it's gotta be
agree.
better than this. Okay, let's give
You
it a
sure?
shot. Why not?
no. Come on. All right. I gotta.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Yep.
could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The memo, yeah. I didn't see a memo in the meeting room last time. Now, how did I get all discombobulated from the time before? Oh, wait a minute. I ain't going in there. There's no doors. Mr. Narrator. All right.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I agree. See, now I can see the hallway over there. I don't remember seeing that before. Because I always come this way. Look. No, there was a door there because I remember looking at the "this does not make sense" sign. Okay. Spilled coffee. Yep. All right. We're back over here. Now what?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
What? Wait a minute.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, the door didn't close on me. Oh, ooh, what's going on here? Oh, wait a minute.
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
I remember
don't think
this.
so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Hey!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Come on.
Win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to
There's
restart.
no door there now. What? The Stanley Parable adventure line.
All right, I've got a solution. This
Okay.
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow
Yay.
the line. How simple is that?
Follow the yellow brick road? I'm down with. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It wants me to go that way, but I don't want to go that way. We got the storyline goes that way.
This game. What's the name?
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It's one of the free games that you get from PlayStation, you know, being part of the PlayStation Network. All right. Do I follow the yellow line or do I go off on my own adventure? I am very off on my own adventure kind of guy. You know what I mean? Oh, I better follow it. All right, fine. I mean, at least it's taking us to a new area. That's it. Follow the yellow
See?
brick line.
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
Right.
Simply by the act of moving
forward.
are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of
Nature
life
of
itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
All right.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of
Wait a
existence
minute.
is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, I hope this isn't copyrighted.
Is Stanley a spider?
I don't think so. They said he was a person that was typing on a computer, and I can't climb the wall. Yeah, that light's moving. What is that? What's that? That's got to be there for a reason, right?
That's a mask from Payday Game.
Wait a minute, what happened there? Wait, what? What happened? Whoa! That's crazy. Wait a minute. But wait a minute. Hold on. Can we stop the music, please? Can't go through there. That's where we came from, I'm assuming. This is weird.
What kind of puzzle is that?
I have no idea. Wait a minute. Hold on, hold on. Did we just came... The room changed over there. What's going on? Okay, this is where we started. Come through here, go through here, go through here, come up, around the wall, through the office. All right, all right.
Got the music.
All right.
Go
Thank
back
you.
And look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I'll do that. I can do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7, 2. Chair with a box. Okay, underneath the clock. Which, by the way, the time did finally change. Missing a leaf on the right side. Okay. Now what, narrator? In fact, I'm not even sure which way I just came from, to be honest with you. It had to be this way, right? Yeah.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Now the line's screwing with me. No way. Okay, we'll follow the line. Can't go through there. Which way should we go?
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you.
Yeah,
everything
Line.
we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restart. Oh, all right. Okay. Here we go again.
You know what, Stanley?
What?
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're
Right.
intelligent people, right?
Right.
Why can't we make up our own story?
I like that
Something
idea.
Exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. I'm down with that, Mr. Narrator.
Now, yes,
Ooh.
this is exciting. Just
Is
me
it?
and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
right?
What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley. I'm
Hoping to restart is on purpose, not because you fail and you know it.
Wait a minute. What happened? Okay, alright, what?
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay. Kind of hard not to acknowledge it. It's a bright yellow line in this drab office hallway thingy. Hey, finally a door.
Ah, a choice. We
All right.
get to make a decision. From
I love
here,
it.
the story is in our control.
Okay,
How
let's do it.
important We mustn't squander the opportunity.
I promise I won't.
I believe I need a minute to think here. Just
Okay.
walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
What if I want the other door, Mr. Narrator? All right, let's do it. Oh,
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
after a long time, Stanley
determined.
dies.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it
Yeah.
really- No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Okay. Yeah.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Weird. Okay. Is this where we lose a narrator and I'm on my own? And I gotta remember the fern, because he said that was important. No narrator.
All of his co-workers
Oh.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I didn't miss a memo. I'm being manipulated.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope. He entered
This
the
was
door
not
on the
the
right.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Very
Perhaps he
well.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I did. I really did.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, this
Yeah.
room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous gorgeous room.
We've been
Thank
through that.
goodness, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did not. I went straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right? There's a note there. What does that note say? I can't read it. Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Okay. I think you're right. I'm supposed to follow the directions. But I can't help myself.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
What?
Someone you've forgotten about.
Who?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? Wait a minute. Who's her? Mr. Narrator?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Wait a
to
minute.
put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
Who's her? All right, well, we gotta go through. Let's go through. Can't go through there. All right. I don't like a black door, but let's do it. Oh,
That's
what?
her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
How do I pick up the phone? Guess that's how.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Hi.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
Hi.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want
Yes.
to commit their life to you?
Oh,
trying
come
to
on.
make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I don't know.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
I got recommended this on my homepage, lol.
All right, let's go in.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, come on. Good morning, 427. Press X on your controller. No. All right.
This is one of my favorite games.
He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Really? Okay.
He was going to watch movie, but this is more fun to watch.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Did he really choose it, though? It doesn't feel like I chose it. Please press triangle. All right.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Right?
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
I love that.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
I played
And
No
each
Man's
day
Sky.
that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh.
If you need any help, let me know. I will be sure not to spoil.
Ah, please don't spoil. I'm enjoying this just as it's happening. All right. Well,
And
press
so
in the
he began
triangle.
to fantasize about his own job.
What?
First, he imagined that one
Of
day
course.
while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Okay.
The thought excited him terribly.
Now I see where that came from. Well, I guess that's what somebody's telling me anyway. To spend time with the boys. Who are the boys? All right.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Right?
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his
boys.
decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to
changed
fill it with
again.
many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And
What?
he called it the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer.
Oh.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Oh,
The
come
longer
on.
he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Okay.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
When I first watched someone play this ending, it gave me nightmares XD.
What happens if I push another button? I gotta try a different button and see what happens. Nothing. Nothing.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How
What?
can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Okay.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Okay, okay.
And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What? Hello? I died? Phone's ringing. Where's the phone?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did too.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What was that noise? Oh, it's the click of that. Telephone directory, can I read it? Cannot. Okay, here we are.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I did that before. We're going this way.
But
Hey,
Stanley just couldn't do it. He
Could not.
considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be
Right.
fired for that. And
Right.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All
Wow.
because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
it
And
doesn't.
as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Like
For
what?
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he
I
looked
know.
down?
How
Why
can
did
I?
doors close automatically behind him wherever
Right?
he went?
I
And
know.
for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
They
simply
are.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
But it
At
is.
last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
I
This
am.
is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt
Whew.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't
Wait a
actually
minute.
gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Right.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm
Right.
dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his
This
life.
whole, right, okay.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else
Right.
would the voice explain all that? This
Right.
voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Let me wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay. I am okay. Nope.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? And then I woke up in my office again, right?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wait a minute. Who's
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Mariella, best girl.
She had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. So it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. All right, let's go.
All of his
Whoa, man.
coworkers were gone. What could it mean?
Whoa, man.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, let's go to the friggin' meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I went to the door on the left, just like you asked.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on text. Everyone is unique.
It's
You
12
most of all.
and I am afraid to sleep. What if I get stuck same as Stanley?
That'd be scary now, wouldn't it? The back rooms thing, right? Slides, charts, and slides. Read out which charts on the same slide depicts the same information. Rate of increase the graphs per slide. I'm begging you, stop. The boss appreciation minute. Okay. If you find yourself in a conflict, why do we hire you? Remember that it takes two people to start a fight, and right now you're both of them. That's funny. That broom closet's got to have something to do with it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
All right, let's go to the boss's office.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be
I believe in you, Dark Bounty
This was
Hunter.
too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Okay.
What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's
2854.
future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
Ooh, I would have been wrong.
Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Now what? Is it going to change? No, it looks the same. There's that. It's still there. What? There's got to be a reason for that, right? It seems out of place.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
How can I call extension 914? Okay, screw it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Trying to see if there's any movement in any of these frames. I don't think it matters, but you know. Could be a clue.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
It's the Illuminati. It's gotta be.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
Pirate?
Never.
You see that? It says pirate.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
What does that mean?
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
One of these gotta work, I think. Ooh, we got a boop that time. What'd the boop do? Another boop. All right.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew
Last time I
it was his
turned it
duty,
off.
his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they
Sure
kept
did.
you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes. Control.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off.
Maybe Stanley is a ghost, that's why you can't see his feet.
You're going to have to do much better
That's
than
a
that.
good. That's a
I'm afraid
good
you
thought.
don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
What?
nuclear detonators are said to explode,
Nuclear?
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
It
It's
is.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your
Okay.
story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments
Horrend.
until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means.
Maybe Stanley was the friends we made along the way.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die.
Cameraman never dies.
Exactly what happened to them.
Cameraman never
I
dies.
raised them. I turned off the machine.
Okay, wait a
that set
minute.
you free.
Okay.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. but I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it.
There's one.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
So this one should be 2?
Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable?
I think it's not going to explode.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Come on.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Huh. It's a cruel game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't think I missed a memo. Wait a minute. That's new content.
Explosion.
I gotta go through it, right? It's kind of the indication.
What could it f***ing mean?
What could it mean? The 2 doors. Screw it. We'll go through the new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Right? What does it mean? Where's that phone again? All right, fine. Let's go see what the new content does for us.
The new content door was added in the re-release.
Was it? I did not know. When was the re-release?
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
It
I'm
does.
very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. Well, the only way to go,
So
right?
far, it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Why aren't we moving then?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right,
Okay.
finally, at
Finally.
long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it! Let's go!
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as
Right?
if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay, I'm on it. What? The jump circle.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
A jump circle, huh? Jumps remaining 36. Who's counting them?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Go in circle, please.
All right.
Jumping poke.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I
It's
agree.
Used your last jump.
Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole
Used your
dictionary.
last
There's
jump?
20
What does
hours
that
of new
mean?
content right there. Hell, I
Sad
could
but
count to
relieved
30
face.
trillion. You could put that on the box.
Oh, no.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Me too. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Kind of looks like I have no choice, right? Although the store didn't close, and that didn't close. What happens if I do that? Nothing. I can't do nothing with that. So you gotta do it. I guess we gotta do what we gotta do.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies.
No choice
and it's
indeed.
hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Twitter? What's that?
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
All right,
What do you
narrator.
say, friend?
Let's do it. All right, well, it looks different already. I mean, my office doesn't. Wait a minute.
Want to really watch it, but I have to sleep. Hope I won't miss too much. When will you stream again?
Probably Monday. All right, well, let's go through here. What's that? Wait a minute. That's my office door. That's how I go through there. It's okay.
I mean, you could always get the game yourself or watch a playback of the stream, TBH.
That is true.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork. Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
What? Sunset.
It's more fun watching here live.
Well, it'll be on my channel. Something cool. Okay.
Sus.
Ooh. Oh, man. All right, Mr. Narrator, I'm
Okay,
trusting
see you
you.
on Monday then. Good luck
All right,
with
brother.
the game and narrator.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Have a good night. Bye. All right, narrator, let's do this. Oh, what are we doing, narrator? Narrator.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Wait a minute. What? All right. Oh, okay. I thought I was just going to do that thing it did before, but no. Wait a minute. What's this? It's got a kind of moment. What? Something odd about this.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the
Memory zone.
Okay. Oh, Independent Game Festival. Audience Award. Okay. Wait a minute. Who's Bruce Straley? Well, The Last of Us? Our First Kiss, My First Car, the release. The Stanley Parable. 2013.
Oh, you playing it on PlayStation like I did?
Yeah, I am playing it on PlayStation. Yep. Okay. See, there's Stanley.
Last of Us won that award XD.
Smile because it happened. Two 2003.
The narrator mentioned where you playing it on briefly.
He did, actually. You're right. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. It is impossible to get this achievement. Unachievable. What achievement would that be? I like how it actually has a reflection. Academy Award. Story. Okay. New video game releasing today. October 17th. Creator
These are
surprising.
real achievements in the original game, I think.
Seems like it, right? Deal tough choices. June 7th. The memory of little Stanley? What?
Suis dans la mémoire zone, c'est sur la pluie de l'eau, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What? Okay. It's a table. I haven't seen that room. Was that Minecraft? It's Minecraft. It was good. The original?
That's from Portal. XD. Yes, that is Minecraft.
Oh, so this is from another video game? Person of the year. The buttons.
Yes. Pretty much.
It's a nice car. Mustang Fastback, looks like maybe 67. All right, I did not see that smiley button. Where was that at? And the number there. What was it, 29? I don't remember that either.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
That was from the demo.
There was a demo? Okay. This door opened up over here, so we'll go... No, that's the way we came in, isn't it? I don't remember red and blue doors. The end is never...
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Demo only on computer, sadly.
Oh, the store's open now. Let's go.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Let's go find out, Mr. Narrator. Okay.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating.
The reviews are from Steam if you bought the game there.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Oh.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
They don't say Steam on the console version, sadly.
I suppose it's not part of the
Real
narrative.
reviews.
These are real reviews, though. Okay. What's with the blue tarp? Oh, this is the. Trying to see if I make sure I don't miss anything.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers
Boring,
non-linear
fast,
games,
despite all
this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You
Little
wouldn't tell
bit.
me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people
Sorry to hear
down.
it, buddy.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much, and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say...
he repeats after a bit if you don't press the skip button.
And therefore, by becoming it is. So on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Right?
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
right?
Then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation.
Right?
Yes, I think that's quite likely.
I doubt
or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting long. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just... Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time.
What's the beeping? What's going on? Annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable.
What a weird game.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never.
Narrator talking, you skip.
End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
No talking, you don't skip, lol.
End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
More drips this time, though. All right, I'm not skipping. Oh, I feel I really got to push that button. I don't know why, but I really want to push the button. All right, I'm pushing it. It's too long. I can't do it. Oh. Oh.
Push.
All right. I gotta push the button, right? Okay. Ooh, sunlight. Ooh, what was that? Oh, okay. All right, we'll keep going. Oh, what happened? Did we get buried by sand? Is that what's going on here? That's kind of what it indicates, right? What is this game? It's such a weird game. Oh, the button fell. Seems to be some kind of... Oh.
Amazing game.
What? Kind of reminds me of Dune. Do I go push the button again, or do I try to walk away? I don't see anything really to walk to. I think pushing a button is a better... Oh. Okay. What is this game? All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It is amazing, like I said.
It is. Intriguing at that, too.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Should have went to the new content, I think.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Go to the new content door whenever you are ready.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered? Desperate for answers, he began turning the room over looking for clues that might unravel the situation. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, God.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I had to do it. Oh. Whoa. I can't look
As
down.
the machine
Oh,
whirred
up.
into motion and
What?
Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So
What?
he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Yeah?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What? Okay.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
No.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Nowhere to go other but that door. Okay. Well, let's go.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? Okay. So yeah, Stanley's a ghost. The office. Button sounds.
Museum ending, aka behind the scenes of the game, including spoilers for other endings.
Really? Well then, heads up on the spoilers, people. So we get the credits. Boss's office. Office clock.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of core level design. You have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of
Outtakes.
this injustice forever.
Kevin Brightening, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are the clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
Stanley stood on the snow. Pushed the big red button.
Okay. So is this the meaning that I made it to the end of the game? Did I beat the game? Oh. What? Countdown desk. Different freedom ending. Monitor room elevator.
There
Countdown.
are many endings and multiple of them have credits.
I see. I never did the levers. Oh, trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of this game development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May of 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable was originally a Half-Life mod.
Oh, so vents had different... Funny. In previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending.
Thankfully, none of the new content is spoilered in the museum.
Well, that's good. Early version of the lounge. I like the new version, or the version we got. What is that? Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are the screenshots of the video we made for the anonymous game delay. Okay, there's the bike. Early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient in the world and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was too jokey on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intent. So there is a version of that somewhere? Okay, now what? Is there a way out of this? There's gotta be.
There is.
So I missed something while I was in the museum.
Look for a dark room with the name of the game.
How about exit?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you
No.
see how much they need one another?
No.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I let time choose. Hello? Well, here we go again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check
Hi.
his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself
Hi.
and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Fine.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Really? Okay, show me. Oh, I expected to take it right there. Okay, take a left. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about
All right.
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
I agree.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
All right.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Stanley Parable
built
2.
from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Isn't this floor the carpet in The Shining, the movie? Okay. They're back. 2 doors. Okay, what does this say? 1, more TSP. 2, better TSP. Win-wins.
The carpet has 2 in Roman numerals on it.
Is that what it was? Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Okay. 1 and 2. The color red. Envelope, client-centric marketing. Okay. Color red. There's that plant thing that never became a thing. You told me to remember, right?
Fern.
The fern, yeah.
Remember it.
I gotta remember it still?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more...
Never forget 2023, Fern.
Taste the sequel.
Asterisk 2013.
Me. Be something I would do at my work. What was that? Peace. What's going on? Such a weird game. Okay. JYAWM City. Okay.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
New
The end
features
is...
are fun to try out.
Office decorations.
Merch QR code takes you to a funny vid.
Oh, so if you actually scan it. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes.
Reassurance bucket. New. Taste the sequel. The button says the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Okay. Ray traced, okay. Red is the new
It
orange.
doesn't actually dox you.
The baby is all grown up.
Don't worry.
A whole new office. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh. All right, well. What's my name?
Jim.
No.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise
Okay.
you'll love it.
All
Okay,
right.
here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I'm
I
Jim.
want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
I'm
sleeping
Jim.
and waking as Jim.
Oh,
falling in
why-
love
why-
and being heartbroken as Jim.
Oh,
seizing
Jim.
all of the world's possibilities as Jim.
I got
and
this,
as Jim.
Jim.
Watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh, sad
Do you
Jim.
feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
My name is Jim.
Jim.
Yes! You
Wow,
see?
that's
What a
awesome.
thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second
Hi,
time.
Jim.
If this were the only new feature in the
Now I
Stanley
get it.
Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
How do I get out of here? Open the door.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
I'm Jim.
Come back from where you came from.
But I'm Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play.
Yes,
the Stanley
Jim.
Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Jim Nax. I really should take that hallway. I really want to take that hallway. But I also want to check out all the new features. The reassurance bucket. Let's go check that out.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration,
Bucket.
I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the
Perfect solution. All right.
Give it a try.
I'll give it a try.
Can
Why are you
you
laughing?
feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Nice.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
It might have.
Imagine changing all the endings to be different. Just have bucket instead.
Await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Do I get to keep reassurance bucket? I want to keep it. It's a different chair.
Yes.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Wait a minute. Office decorations, but it also says infinite hole. That doesn't sound like a good idea. And why are there numbers on the chair? Is that Stanley?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit
Infinite hole is further.
like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece.
He always chooses the one you don't pick.
Ah, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. The jump circle. We'll go there first.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Oh. You gave it away. But I didn't know it, so I'm okay with it. Alright, so let's see what this says. Infinite hole.
Jumps for you.
Free trophy and collectibles. Well, let's get the free trophy, I guess. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps, it just works. Get yours right now. What lever?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you.
It doesn't work yet, lol.
Well, I had to try. I'm not a fan of the narrator right now. I like how the bucket still makes noise.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Why? He's giving you all this new content.
He is. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
You found it. Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay. I want to see an exit. Jump circle. Where's the exit? Oh. You are here.
Exit go at the end. Please.
Exit go at the end. Into what? Is there more? The infinite hole? We didn't go into the infinite hole. Or is that something I shouldn't do with my lovely bucket?
Of your tour.
More hole. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I gotta find out. I'm assuming, just like everything else, it's not a thing.
Go in hole, please.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say anything.
Just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
If that works for you,
Nope.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Every pause button is a Roman numeral.
You get something if you go out and then in again.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Don't we all?
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It sure did.
I feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
I agree.
Admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Cigarette butts. Do I hold on?
Had
Yeah,
enough?
let's do it.
I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's
I think you do.
Here, let's try something.
Okay.
Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my life. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
It's not working.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
I don't know if I should. All right, I
Still
tried.
nothing?
Nothing.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Fix
I'm
it.
out. Goodbye,
What?
Stanley. You
What?
couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a
Oh, come
win
on.
for everyone. You get to be with the hole.
The win-win
I get to do
thing.
literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Come on. Don't be that way. Narrator. Narrator.
Whole ending.
Whole ending? Is it the... Oh.
It begins.
What begins? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? In there? Change your perspective. Okay. Oh. I like how the buckets. I thought I was holding on to the bucket. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Chicka chicka pow.
You can keep pressing the buttons as much as you want for now.
Chicka chicka pow. Yeah, that's too weird. It's so weird.
Stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Oh.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Oh. What's going on?
Change yourself is my fave of the four.
Stanley? Stanley?
Oh.
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
Come
I don't want to
on.
miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Toodle pip? I've never heard of that. Toodle pip. Oh.
Whole ending.
Whole ending.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The gym button. We did that, right? Merch. The bucket. We did that. So it's time to exit, right? Oh, the mostly infinite. Exit, right? We're going out the exit. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the exit? Oh, there it is. Weird.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Maybe. Please, no screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think?
Oh.
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
Excited for the sequel?
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
2.
Okay. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
Right?
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
There you go.
Of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Do it.
Possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Oh. What? Wait a minute. Is this an actual thing?
Ready to play the sequel?
Is it really the sequel? Is this something I should maybe do in a...
Pretty much.
So I could do this in another time? So if I stop playing now, can I get back to this?
What do you mean? It's new content.
I'm just wondering if I stop playing, do I have to start all over to get to this point? I would.
You resume from this.
Oh, I do resume from this. Okay. Oh. I guess I'm playing.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I like the balloons.
Employee number 427.
Intro is mostly the same.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
So this is the Ultra Deluxe part of it. We're playing the next part of the Stanley Parable. Is that what I'm getting here? So if I do quit, I get to come back to resume.
The sequel is now paused.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I've been 3 hours into this video. I don't want to go too much longer. So I think I'm going to have to come back here and play this game. What a freaking interesting game this was. And really, can you call it a game? I mean, really, it's kind of, this is weird. It's a game, kind of. I jumped for a little bit, picked up a bucket.
You make choices.
And I get to make the choices. The choices are kind of cool, but limited, it felt like to me. But maybe they fixed that here in the Stanley Parable too. I did enjoy it though. I gotta say it was fun. But to play it again, I don't know if it would be just as fun. Maybe there are different endings. There are different endings. So there are different endings that I didn't see while I was playing, I'm assuming, right? I like the game. I do.
Play as much as you want.
Right.
You. Some secret, some new.
All right, well then I'm gonna have to come back to this because I got things I gotta go do. But man, what an interesting game! I suggest playing it. It's free. It may not be fun for all though. I gotta say, all for fun? Yes. Fun for all? No. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the little bell icon for the trifecta. Thank you very much. Sorry, I crushed your name, but thanks for joining me. It made it more interesting to have somebody there to bounce off of. This is kind of trippy too. This whole office, it's kind of trippy. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll play this again. We got to figure out what the Stanley 2 is about eventually too. See what that gives us. But all right, guys, catch you in the next one. Remember, be you, for no one can tell you you're doing it wrong. Bye. What a game.